from RNZ News. It was about the NASA astronauts, Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, splashing down off the coast of Tallahassee, Florida.
Wow.
Just last Wednesday.
I saw that.
New Zealand time.
Yeah.
I mean, this was after like a crazy long time in space.
Right.
And it like definitely grabbed a lot of people's attention.
For sure.
So we're going to dive into this for you. We're going to look at like why this return was so significant and what the real takeaways are from this whole thing.
Yeah. And I think what's interesting about this whole story is like, when you think about space travel, it's like you can have the best plan, right? You can plan everything out, but space is unforgiving.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that their mission like went so differently than planned is a huge part of why everyone was watching this so closely.
I mean, so they launched back in June of last year.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be like kind of a short mission.
Yeah, like a quick trip.
And they were going to ride the Boeing Starliner home, right?
That was the plan.
Yeah.
But the Starliner, you know, had some problems, some technical issues.
Right.
And so what was supposed to be a short trip turned into an extended stay.
Like way extended.
286 days.
Wow.
That's over 9 months in orbit.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it really shows you like the challenges of getting new spacecraft like actually working.
Oh, yeah.
And, like how important it is to have backup options.
Redundancy. Right.
Exactly.
But, I mean, 9 months.
Oh my gosh.
That's a long time to be like away from home.
Yeah.
Away from Earth.
It's crazy.
And they didn't even come back on the Starliner.
Right.
They came back with NASA's Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Aleksandr Gorbunov on a SpaceX Crew Dragon capsule.
Yeah.
It was part of this like regular Crew 9 mission, this whole crew rotation thing they do at the ISS.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The International Space Station.
Right. And it was interesting because you know that SpaceX Crew Dragon?
Yeah.
It launched in September with Hague and Gorbunov, but they had 2 empty seats on the way back.
Okay.
So it was like perfect timing.
So it all worked out.
Exactly. You know, it shows how important these commercial partners like SpaceX are for making sure we can still get to the ISS and for having these like backup plans.
Yeah. So 286 days.
It's a long time.
That sounds like a long time.
It is.
But it's not actually the record.
That's right.
The record is held by this Russian cosmonaut.
Right.
Valery Polyakov.
Amazing.
437 days.
Oh.
I can't even imagine.
That's incredible.
It kind of makes you think, what does extended mission even mean?
That's a good question.
Right.
Like, what is extended? Obviously, it was unexpected for Williams and Wilmore, but like longer stays have always been a part of space travel.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, it lets us study how space affects the human body for longer, and we can test new technology.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So they decide to come back on the Crew Dragon.
Right.
And the article talks about them leaving the ISS.
Yeah.
Can you give us a picture of what that journey back to Earth is like?
Oh, it's pretty wild.
I bet.
First, they undock from the ISS.
Oh, yeah.
And then they have to do all these engine burns, like perfectly timed to slow down.
Yeah.
Because remember, they're going like 17,000 miles per hour in orbit.
Oh, my God.
So they got to slow down a lot to start coming back down.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then there's the reentry part.
Yeah, that's the part everyone's nervous about.
Yeah, I mean, it says here they hit the atmosphere at over 22 times the speed of sound.
Yeah.
And the temperature gets over 3,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's nuts.
That just melts your brain to think about.
It's crazy. But you know what's so cool?
Right.
Is that we've designed these spacecraft to handle that kind of heat.
Right.
Like the heat shield is so important.
I bet.
It basically takes all that heat energy from the friction with the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And just gets rid of it.
Wow.
And then there's this communication blackout.
Oh, yeah. That's scary.
Because the air around the capsule gets so hot, it turns into plasma.
Really?
And that blocks radio waves.
Oh, so they're completely cut off.
Yeah. For a bit.
Oh, wow.
It's temporary, but it's definitely a risky part of the journey.
I bet. But then the parachutes open up.
Thank goodness.
2 sets of them.
Right, 2 sets.
To slow them down from like supersonic speed to just a gentle splashdown in the ocean.
less than 20 miles per hour when they hit the water.
That is amazing that they can control it like that.
Right. It's an incredible feat of engineering.
To go from that speed to that speed.
Yeah, like they have to be so precise with their landing.
Yeah.
Because they have to land right where the SpaceX recovery ship is waiting.
Okay.
You know? It must be amazing to see them get out of the capsule. Yeah. After 10 months and that crazy re-entry.
And then they can finally breathe fresh air again.
Right, that first breath of fresh air.
So good.
Yeah.
But it's not over then, is it?
Not quite.
They still have medical evaluations.
Oh, yeah.
Before they can go back to Johnson Space Center, of course. In Houston?
Yeah, they got to make sure they're adjusting. Okay.
I mean, their bodies need time to get used to gravity again.
Yeah.
After being weightless for so long.
Microgravity. Exactly. The doctors check everything.
Yeah, make sure their bodies are handling it.
So the article also talks about this whole political side of things.
Right.
With the extended mission and them coming back on a SpaceX capsule.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like there were some interesting claims flying around.
Yeah, and it shows how space travel isn't just about science anymore.
Right.
It's tied up with business and politics, too.
So Elon Musk said on his platform X,
which used to be Twitter,
right?
He said that SpaceX could have brought Williams and Wilmore back earlier.
Yeah, and that someone turned down the offer for political reasons.
That's juicy.
Yeah, but the article doesn't say, like, who made the offer or who turned it down.
Right, so it's kind of vague.
Yeah.
And then there's this former NASA official.
Right, from the Biden administration?
Yeah, they said that NASA never got a formal offer.
Mm-hmm.
And that they probably wouldn't have taken it anyway. Why not?
Because launching a whole new mission would cost a ton of money.
Oh, yeah.
Like hundreds of millions of dollars for a new Dragon capsule and Falcon 9 rocket.
Wow, that makes sense.
So this whole thing shows how NASA and SpaceX aren't always on the same page.
Yeah, like they have different goals.
Right, and maybe they need to communicate better.
Makes sense.
And this former White House official told CNN they didn't know about any offer either.
So no one's admitting to anything.
Yeah, it's murky.
Interesting.
And then Butch Wilmore himself.
What'd he say?
Well, when they asked him about it from space, he said he didn't know about a specific offer, but he said, I believe him.
About Musk?
Yeah.
So what does that even mean?
Maybe there were talks happening behind the scenes.
That weren't official.
Right.
Oh, man, this is complicated.
Yeah, it's a tangled web.
And SpaceX's Sarah Walker.
Their Dragon mission manager.
Right.
She said she wasn't involved in those talks.
Okay.
But that NASA always looks at all their options.
Makes sense.
And they have backup plans for when things go wrong. Wow. So it's a very careful statement.
Yeah, not giving too much away.
Exactly.
So it seems like everyone has a different story.
Yeah. And it shows how complicated space travel is now.
It's not just NASA anymore.
Right. There are all these different players involved.
So let's talk about Williams and Wilmore.
Okay.
And how they felt about people saying they were stranded.
Yeah, they really pushed back against that.
They didn't like that.
They kept saying they were prepared and committed to the mission.
Yeah.
They didn't want to seem like victims.
Like they were abandoned or something.
Yeah, right. They're astronauts.
They're tough.
Yeah, they're trained for this.
And it's not like extended stays are unheard of.
No, not at all.
Like Frank Rubio.
Right, the NASA astronaut.
His mission got extended to 371 days.
Yeah, because of a coolant leak in his Soyuz spacecraft.
That's crazy.
It's a record, actually.
For an American.
Yeah, the longest an American has been in microgravity.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So it happens.
It does.
And Dina Cantella from NASA, she said that lots of crew members have stayed in orbit for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So Williams and Wilmore's mission.
Yeah.
It was longer than planned, but it wasn't like totally out of the ordinary.
Right. They didn't need any special treatment.
Just the usual adjustments when they got back.
Exactly.
But it still must be hard on their bodies.
Oh, yeah.
The article says they often use stretchers after long missions.
Because their bodies have to get used to gravity again.
It's like they have to learn to walk again.
In a way.
Yeah.
Williams and Wilmore have both been to space before, so they knew what to expect.
It's not their first rodeo.
Exactly.
But Jeanette Epps.
From Crew 8.
Yeah, she talked about how heavy everything felt.
When she got back.
And she said she had to keep moving.
And exercise.
To help her body adjust.
It's wild how much it affects you.
Totally.
It's sad, though, that people were making comments about Suni Williams' appearance.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
When she got back.
Like tabloid stuff.
Yeah, it's so unnecessary.